Well, hello everybody. It's Zafsan. I just wanted to hop on for a little while to kind of share my journey or my story with my journey with doing live virtual events. Before I get started, I just want to say welcome to broadcast. And if you don't know who I am Zevzan, live broadcast and virtual events producer and consultant at Vendor Shows Live and Zevzan.com and entrepreneurs that soar. Wow, that's a mouthful, right? So if you're here, please say hello so I can say a proper hello to you back. And where do you do that? Drop your hello in the comments and let me know where you're tuning in from so I can even, follow up with you later, even after the broadcast. So if you're watching the replay, welcome to the broadcast and welcome to the replay. Do say hello and let me know where you're tuning in from. All right. I just want to share this because I just finished a call and I got inspired by the conversation. And I thought, hey, this makes a great conversation, or this makes a great share, because maybe some of you who are new to me, who are probably asking, like, okay, what makes her the go-to person when it comes to virtualizing my in-person events? Well, let me get started by telling you this, okay? So when I got started with virtual events, I was a facilitator for a networking organization here in the US. And it was out of New Jersey. And what happened was I said yes to facilitating the networking events here in Connecticut. And when I got started, so just wanted to share that with me. So as I talk, I probably will share with you some, images and information so you can kind of relate to my story. So this is me, Zevzan. This is my website, zevzan.com. Right now, I'm kind of like updating my website, so you'll see my information and how to connect with me there. All right. That said, what happened was when I got started, I hosted a lot of events. I'm such a people person and I love meeting people and connecting people to other people. So I hosted a lot of networking events here in Connecticut. I had a networking group and I started on meetup.com. I don't know if you know of this platform. So if you're watching this, peeps who are watching this internationally, my connections in Malaysia and Singapore, because I'm also streaming this to the group, I hosted events here where, for many, many years, actually changing from one event to the other one, in hopes that I would actually get people to connect with and come to my events. I did really well with meetup.com. And when I did that, I grew a group here in Connecticut and provided a lot of value, and I met a lot of people. I'm going to tell you this. I'm an avid networker. I would travel to tri-state areas, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours to meet people. Isn't that fun? Those were the days, right? When you actually have to travel to meet people. Well, I love networking and connecting with people. That said, fast forward, when I started it, I was like, I was kind of frustrated because if you're an events person, like planner or events manager or events producer, if you produce in-person events or organize in-person events, one of the challenges is, the question is, okay, what do I need to do to drive traffic to my event? Or what do I need to do to make my event interesting? Right? And fill those seats. It takes a lot of time, if you notice, to kind of build momentum to introduce your group or your event to people, right? So for me, when I hosted it, I probably took about a year or two to kind of really build the momentum. When I did, one of my biggest frustrations was, am I the only person in this room that is passionate about what I do, right? And passionate about the value that I bring to this community. But what happens was, of course, you'll have attendees who you'll meet connections who say, "Oh, I would love to attend your events, but I had to drive my kids to school because they have after hours activities, or I can't make it because I really wanted to be there, but I can't make it because I have a doctor's appointment. So what came to mind for me was like, okay, we talked now during pandemic times, maybe we should do hybrid events. That's a topic for another day or another live broadcast. But what happened was, I met people, and I felt like I was the only one in the room making a lot of planning to bring value and valuable content, and trying to make connections in these groups. What I didn't realize was it took so much of my time to do this that it kind of took me away from my business, right? The real reason why I should be, the real reason, or the real way of me doing business, my business, focusing on my business. Sorry, I'm like barely awake because I was up early this morning for a networking event. Then when that happened, I said, okay, there must be a better way for me to bring people, hear this, bring people into my space, right? Not me hunting them down like, hey, come to my event, blah, 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 blah. But you need to be here because of the value I'm bringing. This is a speaker. And sometimes I have speakers, guest speakers, and then, nobody shows up. You'll have like, instead of having 50 people, maybe, it's 10, because it takes a lot to kind of put these events together. Then I said there must be a better way. And at that time, I had a great group of interns. I had an internship program and virtual internship program. I was lucky to have a few of the interns who were in Connecticut. So I want to share with you something. I even have videos to kind of show you my journey with live virtual events. All right. So what happened, I said, there must be a way for me to bring people into my space. And if they can't get the value in a live event, that means in-person event, or, by being there physically, there must be a way for me to invite my audience, my potential, networkers to come to a space where they can watch or consume the valuable content, like at their own time. So at that time, I had this thing, there was a platform called Google Hangouts. So that kind of dates me. Google Hangouts basically is kind of, I think, the start off of all these networking platforms. And I'm not a networking platform. Sorry. This is prior to Zoom. Okay, when before Zoom was a verb, was Zooming. So I used Google Hangouts. How I used it was, it almost felt like a hybrid event where I had the actual in-person event, and I also used Google Hangouts to stream the content, that valuable content, to kind of connect with people who are interested in attending my events but couldn't make it. And the beauty of this, folks, was I quickly discovered how valuable the replay button was. Do you know what I mean? So thinking about like, wow, now I can actually offer my audience a replay button. I'm going to show you a little bit about the video. I'm going to share this in my screen so you have an idea. So please forgive the overall look of my YouTube channel, because this is the YouTube channel for Entrepreneurs That Soar, my initial company, my current company, but I haven't used the name much because I wanted to kind of evolve in a different direction. I'm going to show you one video that we did for a kind of hybrid event. So before this, it wasn't even called a hybrid event, just because I was just figuring things out, right? So, yep. First of all, if you notice, under the channel Entrepreneurs That Soar, yeah, I'm not new to live broadcasting. As you can see, I've been broadcasting since, God knows, 7, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, right? So, when I say I know how to virtualize your in-person events to engaging live virtual events, do you think I have, right there. Do you think I have proof now that, I've been in the live virtual events game for a little while? All right. That said, that's not the point of the conversation. So my journey was, I don't know, before that, I just want to make sure that I'm getting, people are actually watching this or not. I'm not sure. But if you're here, please, 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 please go ahead and put your comments in the comments so that I know you're here, because right now I can't really see who's here. But if you're here, please, 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 please say hello in the comments so I know you're here and I can say a proper hello to you back, even if you're watching in a replay. All right, as promised, I want to show you, this is my proof of concept of live virtual events, how I have been taking, in-person events and virtualizing them to live, engaging live virtual events. All right. These are all my live broadcasts in the past. So you have to excuse, like I said, I haven't updated or arranged or filtered filtered through all the content on my Entrepreneur Stat Store YouTube channel. But these are everything, all the production that I've done almost, like, as you can see right there, 10 years ago. Okay. So I want to show you what I talked about, my journey of, well, kind of in hybrid event at that time, but I didn't really know what to call it at that time. But here's one, right? So this was this was about 8 years ago, Soaring into Action Tour recap. So what happened was, let me show you. So I'm going to show you, this is the recap of one of the networking events that I did. And what happened was, I took this event out on tour, meaning we went to 3 different locations in Connecticut. We did in-person events, and I did a lot of work, okay, with facilitating these networking events. I mean, they were extensive and it was a lot of work. I was passionate about connecting people. So as you can see, I hosted these events. This was actually my launch event for the networking group that I have built, right? So we were at this restaurant, and as you can see, it was a great event. And this is how I really got started, into virtualizing in-person events. All right, this is the networking part. And let me just kind of, undo that. So we had bands, we had conversations, we had guest speakers. As you can see, we had a panel of speakers, and these are some pictures from the other locations, right? We had 3. We called it the tour, the Soaring Tour. I can't remember, the details, but I have videos to kind of showcase what I did. Then back to a sample of what I said, I started playing with the live broadcasting with Google Hangouts. So I'm going to show you what my interns and I did at an in-person event. We were figuring out tech, people. At that time, Zoom wasn't around, so we were playing with Google Hangouts. Let me see if I can find the video that actually will show you we did this. Oh, here it is. So we started this production called Creative Chat Cafe, right? So as you can see, it's now, it was then Hangouts on Air. So this was pre-Zoom. Pre-Zoom areas. So as you can see, the bottom images or videos are, attendees, remote attendees. So we were patching them into the actual event. And as we produce more, as you can see, we had the speaker on screen and we had attendees in this event, right? And then it was a hybrid event. I pioneered a little bit into the journey of hybrid event. And as you can see, we had to bring a lot of equipment. And after a while, folks, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I didn't want to carry all this, all these tools or equipment, because it became a lot. It was a lot of work. So that inspired me to this thought where, like, hey, if I can actually produce this remotely, why wouldn't I? So fast forward, that's what happened. And as you can see, I have a lot of content that has given proof to, like, hey, I can take your in-person events and virtualize them, meaning producing live virtual events, and create really engaging live virtual events. This is one of the events that I kind of attended, and it was like a food service event. It was called Malaysian Kitchen for the World. I was streaming this on. I mean, like we had a lot of technical difficulties or challenges, but I kind of like had to figure things out. This was me on the road at the event, right? Doing Google Hangouts on air. I mean, the quality wasn't great, but eventually I had to figure out how to do this in a remote place. So this was kind of cool because, as you can see, I'm out there, right? I'm out there. Almost felt like a broadcaster journalist, being out there in the world and saying, hey, I'm here, I'm the connector, I'm attending this great event. So that was what I did almost 10 years ago. And this was a cultural show where, we had food vendors, where we had, event participants. So what has inspired my journey now is really the journey through events, and now I'm putting it all together as Vendor Shows Live. So as you can see, after a while, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. In-person events, kind of hybrid events where I bring all my tools, and it's just too much. So I said, what if I concentrated and got good at producing remotely, meaning I can be anywhere. I patch everybody in and still have a great show. And as you can see, I have a lot of content, that I've done in the past. Here's another networking event that I did with another group here in Connecticut. And, I did the interview. We did it on Google Hangouts, and it was just kind of cool because this is the sample that I'm trying to share with everybody, that what we're going to do at Vendor Shows Live is doing a lot of events like this. So, yeah, if you have any questions, folks, at any time, even if you're watching replay, go ahead and drop your questions or comments so that I can answer them post the event, post this broadcast. So just wanted to kind of showcase to you my journey with taking in-person events and producing them to live virtual events. Then when I, discovered Google Hangouts on Air, I was like, no, this is a great way to get my even attendees, to be a part of the event that I do. So I wanted people to attend the events from wherever they are. They didn't have to leave their toilet seat if they didn't want to, but they were able to consume the valuable content. So this is how, I started my journey with live virtual events. And yes, it was pre-Zoom era, where Zoom is now a verb. So I just want to share that with you so that you can see what my journey has been with virtual events. All right. So that really has been my, here's a great one. So I did a virtual summit where I had like probably 20 speakers, I think, or I can't remember, 20 speakers from all over the world. No, this one was a US and UK event. It was a virtual summit. What I did was, we had speakers from US and UK. So we did a kind of like a video trailer to kind of promote the event. So these are just the things that I have done and experienced for the past almost 10 years now, where I take in-person events and virtualize them into engaging live virtual events or shows. So folks, yes, I have been this way before the pandemic. Now I'm bringing it to Vendor Shows Live, right? And if you don't know what that is, I would suggest and recommend that you go to this website. And I show you my screen. This website, Vendor Shows Live, I highlighted that, and it's called Vendor Shows Live. We are launching this business concept on March 1st. Click on Join Our Launch Event, and you will see all the information that you need to know for the March 1st launch event. And come join us. But yeah, I just want to share this with you because I thought this would be a great sneak peek to what I have done, and even my journey from taking in-person events and turn them into engaging live virtual events. So doing that now, focusing on in 2021 with vendor shows live. So if you have participated in vendor shows, whether it's fundraising or trade shows or expos, fairs, you are going to want to be at this event on March 1st, okay? Because this is where you will learn how we can help you, take all your in-person events or in-person vendor events and virtualize them. So if you're a vendor, you might want to learn how you're going to participate or can participate. And then if you're an event planner, producer, or even event host, right, organizer, you want to know like how we can serve you. And if you're an event attendee and you're like, oh my God, this is cool. I can actually, participate and attend events from one place to the other just at a click of my button, please come join us on March 1st. And if you're in the Malaysia, Singapore region, that's probably borderline March 2nd. So be sure to check. And that's also a button here to check your local time zone. So you can click on that and then, just check out the information there. All right, that's basically how I really got started with the whole live broadcast and virtual events production. Nothing has changed as much as processes for me, but how I'm evolving to kind of, serve different types of, audiences, vendors, event planners, and event attendees. This is going to be exciting in 2021. So I hope you come join me on March 1st. But that was my journey. And again, this is all right here. As you can see, this, you have to excuse, like I said, my Entrepreneurs That's Our YouTube channel needs to be updated. And these are all my production for almost the past 10 years, it just shows you how I have been in the game even pre-Zoom years. As you can see, the longest down here, it says 9 years ago at the bottom of this page. As you can see, I'm just hovering. You may not see my mouse there, but my cursor there, but it says the Entrepreneurs That's Our launch intro video 9 years ago. Wow. It just brings back memory. So I have had events like that, where I had interviews, in-person events. This was a networking event. I had my friend Mike Jaffe. And yes, we did this interview on Google Hangouts and streamed this out live. So if any one of you are thinking about hybrid events and if Zeph can do this, well, yes, the answer is yes, definitely. So we need to talk and let's connect and go from there. So that's me again at zephzen.com. You can go to the website. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or Facebook. And I really look forward to connecting with you soon. And that has been my kind of like short snippet journey of my journey into live broadcasting and live virtual events. All right. Let me know what you think about this journey. And if you're at any time feeling like, hey, I need to connect with Zeph and chat with her, please go to my website right here. All right, zephzen.com. And there is a calendar that you can kind of book a time and we can kind of hop on a video call and go from there. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I just wanted to share that with you because you might find this a little bit like something that maybe you want to do. Bye, everyone. See you next time.